General principles. The design goals in creating a user interface are all described below in the next slides. They are fundamental to the design and implementation of all the effective interfaces, including GUI and web ones. Okay, so whatever the principles now I am going to tell, it applies for every kind of GUI interface, that may be the general GUI which is present in your PCs, or sometimes it may be the web interfaces also. Okay, so this is a general principle, remember that. And the specific guidelines on how to implement many of these goals will be presented later, but let us see the main principles here. The first principle is aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so whenever the user interface is being designed, it should be aesthetically pleasing. That means you have to provide the visual appeal by following these presentation and graphic design principles. So let us see what are the design principles under that. You have to give or provide meaningful contrast between screen elements. So that means there should be differentiation between the screen elements what you are going to present, and create groupings. So every menu whatever you have on the particular web interface or a normal general GUI interface, it has to be grouped. Okay, so group 1, group 2, or menu 1, menu 2, menu 3, like this you have to give the or create the different groupings here. Okay, align the screen elements and groups. So there should be certain alignments. Maybe you can align on the leftmost corner of the screen, or rightmost corner of this rightmost corner of the, or else above the screen. So there should be certain alignments for the screen elements and groups. Okay, so you cannot place it on the center. There should be certain alignment on the screen, and provide three-dimensional representation so that it will be very helpful for visualizing the objects on the screen. And use colors and graphics effectively and in a simple manner. Any design aesthetic or visually appealing composition is very attractive to the eye. Uh, it draws mainly attention of the users, and it helps in conveying the message clearly and quickly, and provide the spatial groupings, and align the screen elements in the right proportion, or in right places, and also provide three-dimensional representation wherever necessary, and also give the proper colorings. Maybe you say the color is also important. If your screen background is very low in brightness, then keep a high contrasted objects on the screen, so that it will be very appealing to see for the user. The second point is clarity. The interface should be visually, conceptually, and linguistically clear, including the visual elements, functions, metaphors, words, and text. So clarity has to be maintained in all aspects. It may be clarity in visual elements. Maybe you are representing certain objects on the screen. For example, here the particular object is represented on the screen. It is very clear to the user, is it? It is presented in a very clear manner. So the functions, whatever the functions you provide on the particular screen, also has to be clear. Okay, suppose here the categories you have. Okay, this is one of the function. Under this you have certain again sub functions, is it? So there is the functions are also has to be clear, and the metaphors, maybe you are having certain words, okay, which means something else. So that what is the meaning? Okay, so that has to also has to be known to the user. Okay, chat with us now. So this kind of words, whatever it is going to represent on the screen, it has to be known to the user very easily. Okay, he has to understand. and also the words and text, whatever the screen is using here, maybe browse by, featured, layouts. So all these words has to be kept in a very simple manner. So the interface must be very clear in visual appearance, concept, and also wording. The visual element should be understandable to the user, and any metaphors or analogies also can be used, but it should be realistic and simple. Interface words and text should be also simple. It should be unambiguous and also free of computer jargon. Okay, so whenever you use words, suppose I say words and text, common words, maybe here you have blog, help, sign in, gallery. So these kinds of words are very simple kind of words that helps the user to use the interface in a very better manner. Okay, so here you have search. Okay, search, search word. Okay, this helps the search means he knows, the user is knowing that what kind of work it is going to do, the computer is going to do, is it? So this kind of words, it's very simple words, will help the user to use any system with the graphical user interface very easily. Okay, so that is a clarity in all sense. It should be clarity in visual elements, functions, metaphors, and words. And next is compatibility. Provide compatibility with the following, that is with the user, the task and the job and the product. So there should be compatibility with the provide compatibility to the user. Okay, that means, see, suppose here the screen is presenting some visual display here. Okay, and when you click on certain icons on the screen, uh, there should not be confusion for the user where he is present actually. Okay, he may be going on clicking certain icons further, and later he may be reaching to some other page. Okay, but the user has to actually know where exactly he is present. Okay, so that is compatibility, providing compatibility to the user. And the task and the job, what kind of job the user is doing, maybe um, if he's working on a corporate, or he's working in certain organization, their tasks are different from the normal public users, is it? So the provide a user interface depending on the task of the user, what he is actually interested in. And the product, okay, there should be compatibility between the product. Means the user interface, whatever you are going to develop, it has to be implemented in all kinds of products. Maybe it has to be suppose the graphical user interface is being developed, maybe for certain smartwatches. Okay, that user interface will be implemented in that smartwatch, and it is compatible with that particular product. Okay, so compatibility has to be there for the within the product also. So when I say this GUI interface for the smartwatch, because these kind of guidelines whatever they provide here, general principles it is, so it may be the GUI principle here, whatever I say is applied for any kind of user interface or the web interface, or your interfaces whatever you see in the smartwatches or any other devices also. Okay, so adopt the user's perspective. Next point is adopt the user's perspective. So here effective design actually starts understanding the user needs, and also adopting the user's point of view. Whenever developers does certain user interface, or he starts developing the user interface, he has to think that the errors may be occurred by the users using the well, while using the certain GUIs. Okay, every user is not similar kind. Okay, there will be lot of different kinds of users whenever the system is being used. Okay, and but what happens usually, developer don't think about these all these problems. Okay, They think that every user is, or the users around the world are same. Mm. The differentiation they don't think of. Okay, but studies has proven that the users needs, aspirations, attitudes, everything has to be known to the developers who are going to develop the GIs. Uh, what they say here is know the user first. Okay, this is a fundamental principle in interface design. Know the user. So a system reflecting only the knowledge and attitudes of its designers cannot be successful. Hmm. So designer may be presenting the user interface in a very complex manner, that his knowledge may be presented in a very good manner, but it may not be helpful for the user, the common man, to use a interface. So that should be taught by a developer or the graphical user interface designer before developing any kind of user interface. Comprehensibility. A system should be easily learned and understood. A graph user should know the following: what to look at in the screen, and what to do, when to do it, where to do it, and why to do it, and how to do it. Okay, so simply if you are using a graphical user interface without learning how to use it, it will waste your time and you may end up somewhere. Okay, so that's why a learner or the user has to learn the graphical user interface, how to use it first. Okay, and he has to know what he is looking at and what to do, when to do it, or where to do it, why to do it, and how to do it. So these questions are all has to be answered by the user. Okay, the flow of actions, uh, responses, visual presentations, and information should be in a sensible order that is easy to recollect and place in context. The flow of action. Maybe say you are using a ATM. Okay, ATM machine. So you go on clicking the buttons there, but you have to know what you're looking at on the ATM machine, what you're doing, where you are, when you have to click on the view statement or mini statement button, or you say when to do the banking. See, so kind, this questions are all has to be answered by the user. Okay, and there should be some flow of action. So suppose the user does any mistake in the middle. Okay, the system has to show a message. Okay, not a lengthy message or a lengthy statement, because there won't be much of the time for the user to read. So that's why it should show a simple message so that it will be easily understood by the user. So that is comprehensibility. System should show strong clues for the operation of the object, and it should be presented on the screen. Okay, so that the reader will be able to read the sentences very in a very short time, and it will be read easily actually. Or the response time also will be very less. Okay, so this is about comprehensibility. Next is configurability. Permit easy personalization, configuration, and reconfiguration of settings. So the system should, or the user interface should allow personalization for any user. So you may have personalized screen on your PC or your mobile. Okay, so what it makes, it makes the user to have a sense of control. Okay, it encourages active role in understanding the system, and also it leads to higher user satisfaction. Some people may prefer to personalize any system or graphical user interface. Some people may try to experiment with they may try to reconfigure the settings and everything. but it may reconfiguration or personalizing the things may lead to waste of time. Okay, they may be wasting the time, uh, and sometimes the people may not be doing any changes to their system or the user interface. They will keep it as it is, or you say the default configuration may be provided by the designer itself. Okay, for those who don't go for personalization. So the thing is, any user interface, they should not be fixed in only giving the default configuration. They also has to give the personalized environment for every graphical interface that what they are going to design. And next thing is consistency. A system should look, act, operate the same throughout. Okay, the similar components should have a similar look, similar users, operate similarly. So that means what? Suppose you look into the screen now. Okay, maybe the startup page you have for a graphical interface. Okay, you see that particular screen and you click on certain icon and you come back to the same home screen. Okay, the home screen should not be changed. Okay, it should look as it was before. Maybe 5 minutes back um, you have used that home screen, so it should look as it is. Okay, it should not change the look of it. Okay, and the users also use, once you have clicked certain icon, what is the usage of it? So it may have certain usage. The same usage has to be continued whenever, maybe in a long run. Okay, maybe 1 year or 2 years you may be using the system continuous. It has to show the same usage, and operate similarly. The same action should always yield the same result. Okay, whenever any icons are being clicked, okay, it does certain action. It may yield to certain result. The same result has to be continued when, even if the user uses the system for a long run. The function of the element should not change. The position of the standard element should not change. Okay, so these all things has to be kept in mind, and when you think of consistency. And consistency actually, it's very important because it reduces the requirements for human learning. Actually it allows the uh, skilled learners to learn quickly. So suppose and think that user is using, suppose I say Windows 7 was used earlier. Okay, people were familiar with Windows 7. Now, later Windows 10 was evolved. Okay, but there was no much changes between Windows 7 and 10. People took little amount of time to learn the Windows 10 user interface. Is it? So the functions, whatever it was provided in the earlier version, it remained same. Hmm? So human learning also has to be kept in mind while designing a newer interfaces. Okay, there might be certain visual appealing or the aesthetically pleasing environment uh, given for the user, but the functionalities or the actions, whatever the icons had provided, it does not change. Hmm? It will remain same. Not uh, much difference. There won't be much difference while having the functionalities also. What happens if there is inconsistency in the design? Okay, uh, if you if you have designed a newer version or a totally different kind of user interface, there will be the learning time of the user might be increased. Okay, there will be greater demand for the higher skilled learners, and you need much preparation time and less. There will be less production time in case of if there is inconsistency in the design, and you need more error tolerant systems if you are going to design an inconsistent design. and more kinds of documentation is needed, more time to find the information in the documents are needed, and more demands on supervisors and managers, and more things to do wrong. So this will happen because of inconsistency in the design. Okay, that means that if there is inconsistency in the design, user may take lot of time to understand the system or learn the system. uh, he may be prone to errors, lots of errors while using the system, and you need extra error tolerant systems there to recover from the errors, and you need more number of supervisors or in some managers to supervise the systems. And totally, if you're saying, more things will be done in a wrong manner if there is inconsistency in the design. So the thing is, first thing is, whenever the design has to is designed, uh, user must learn the graphical user interface to handle it very easily. Okay, so suppose there is consistency or inconsistency, user thinking time may be doubled. Okay, suppose you say the position of the screen elements or titles or the field captions, or you say the menu screens. Okay, if it is being changed, the position, suppose only the positions or any titles are being changed, it increases the learning time of the user. Okay, so consistency has to be maintained in all the sense. Okay, or else it leads to more number of errors, greater learning time, or you need more number of supervisors to supervise the systems also. Okay, next point is directness. Provide direct ways to accomplish the tasks, and available alternatives should be visible on the screen. The effect of actions on the object should be also visible to the user. So any task should be performed directly. Okay, the alternatives, whatever the, if suppose you have certain object that is being clicked, okay, and it performs certain operations, and suppose if you need an alternative, you can have an indirect way to approach that particular icon also. So that thing also has to be visible to the user, and actually it reduces the user's mental workload also. Directness can be also provided by an object action sequence of direct manipulation systems. So already you know what is direct manipulation system. Suppose you are using a Android phone. Okay, it's kind of a direct manipulation system. Why? Because you can easily zoom in or zoom out the particular objects on the screen. Okay, direct manipulation. Okay, or if you want to move the icon, you can easily move your icon to the other place on the screen. So this is called a direct manipulation, or you have a directness with the system. You are directly interacting with the system. So tasks are performed by directly selecting an object, uh, and then you can see the action that is being performed on the screen. And efficiency. Next is efficiency. Minimize eye and hand movements and other control actions. Transitions between various system controls should flow easily and freely. Navigation paths should be short as possible. Eye movement through the screen should be obvious and sequential. So here, efficiency in the sense, uh, so whenever a user uses certain object on the screen that is present on the screen, he should be easily able to move the particular icons or the objects on the screen. Okay, that means free flow should be there on the screen, and navigation paths, okay, should not be too long, it should be very short navigation paths. navigation paths means suppose if you are using a PDFs, if you want to move certain to the particular page, okay, maybe the last page, okay, you go for search and you click on which page you want to retrieve, okay, you can get it. So that path is shortened now, okay, so that's called navigation path. Moving from one page to another, that has to be shortened. And eye movement to the screen should be also oblivious. So you'll be concentrating on the screen, and suppose if the screen displays that you should use the keyboard now, okay, then it takes some time to move your hand on the keyboard or the mouse. Hmm? So there should be user interface should be in such a way that these kinds of movement, hand movements on the placing the hand on the keyboard or the mouse has to be reduced. That takes it may take certain time. Okay. Flexibility. A system must be sensitive to differing differing needs of its users, enabling a level and type of performance based upon each user's knowledge and skills, each user's experience, each user's personal preference, each user's habits and the conditions at that moment. So flexibility is a system's ability to respond to individual differences in the people. Okay. So whenever you say flexibility, uh, it depends upon the knowledge and the skills of the user. So you can say a system is very flexible, okay, flexible to use, but user has to have the experience of using the system. If it does not have that, it may be the flexibility of the system may be of waste. Okay, so users not depending on the user's knowledge and skills and his experience, okay, you can say the system is very flexible or it's not flexible. Hmm? So the user has to, or the developer here actually has to think of how much, in what percentage, in what degree you can have the system in a very flexible manner. Okay, so you say highly flexible systems may confuse the inexperienced people, making them to cause many errors. Okay, so suppose you say, for example, you have automatic washing machine and the automated non-automatic washing machine. Two kinds you have. So flexibility, if you are comparing, the automatic washing machine is more flexible. Higher flexibility is there, but the thing is, there should be a certain knowledge for the user here to interact with the system. Is it the knowledge and the skills and the experience? Suppose the user has used that particular equipment, then only he can use the system. So that is flexibility. So higher flexibility, you cannot say when the system is completely higher flexibility is there. You cannot say this is users may not be doing any kind of mistakes there. In higher flexibility systems are more prone to errors. Okay, lower flexible systems may be generally they may not have much number of errors. Okay, so next is forgiveness. Tolerate and forgive common and unavoidable human errors. Prevent errors from occurring whenever possible and protect against those possible catastrophic errors. When error does occur, provide constructive messages. Okay, usually people make mistakes, is it? The system should tolerate those mistakes and it should forgive the people, and it has to make the people easier to come out of the trouble. So here, usually in the systems, to prevent the errors, uh, the systems will be generally showing the messages so that it helps in user to go back to the particular page which he was actually using. Okay, so suppose you have mistakenly by using the system you have clicked some unwanted buttons, is it? But again that system will show certain message that, see, uh, go for cancel or please click OK. If you click OK, this thing will happen. If you click cancel, the other thing will happen. So like this, the message is shown to every user. Okay, so that the system, what actually is here, user interface has to be designed in such a way that it should help the user to uh, do less mistakes, and if he does mistakes, uh, it should show constructive messages so that he can recover from the errors whatever he has done. Predictability, the user should be able to anticipate the natural progression of each of the tasks. It should provide, the user interface has to provide distinct and recognizable screen elements, and also it has to provide cues to the result of an action that has to be performed. All expectations should be fulfilled uniformly and completely. So here the predictability means uh, all actions whatever the user does has to lead to certain results what the user expects. So user may have certain expectations. So if he does or if he clicks on certain icon, this action has to be performed. So like this, he may have certain expectations. So that expectations has to be fulfilled by the user interface. And current operations, whatever the user is doing, should whenever the current operation is going on, the system interface has to provide clues as to what will come next. Okay, and this kind of anticipations or predictability reduces the mistakes and enables the task to be completed more quickly. Okay, it helps to, so if user will be already knowing what he is expecting, or you say these things will appear on the screen. Okay, he will be quickly doing the tasks. Okay, so you have used a lot of times your ATM machine. Okay, user interface is there in the ATM machine also. So you'll be using daily, the user experience is increased, is it? Daily you are going to ATM and you are clicking cash like this so many times. If you are going, your user experience will be increased, so that you will be knowing if you click certain buttons what will happen next. So this will be there in the mind. So this helps in completing the task very in a very faster manner. So like this. Okay, so next is recovery. The system should permit commands or actions to be abolished or reversed. Immediate return to a certain point if difficulties arise should be done in the system. Ensure that the users never lose their work as a result of errors, and also software and hardware communication problems. So recovery. Recovery may be certain due to the some of the mistakes or errors. So the person may have reached to certain other page. Okay, so due to certain commands or actions, but your system has to recover from that errors also. And if certain users does any errors, or if due to hardware problem or software problem, if he's stuck in middle while working, uh, the system has to recover immediately when the hardware equipment or any software is being installed again. Okay, so if this hardware or software communication problem is, this all things, it is not in our hand. It's not the what you can say users problem it is. Okay, it is all because of the system uh, problems these are, is it? So it's not in our hand. But if such things happen, the user interface has to recover from all these problems. Okay, it has to make the user very user friendly. So this is about recovery. Responsiveness. The system must rapidly respond to the user's request. It should provide immediate acknowledgement for all the user actions in visual, textual or auditory medium. Okay, so responding, the response should be very fast from the system. Okay, whenever user interface, the user is using certain user interface, the system has to respond in either visual manner or textual manner or auditory. Okay, so some systems may give feedback. Okay, uh, okay, so in textual manner or visual manner. So these things will happen, and maintain simplicity here. Provide as simple as interface as possible. 5 ways to provide simplicity is: use progressive disclosure, hiding things until they are needed, and also present the common and necessary functions first. Prominently feature important functions, hide more sophisticated and less frequently used functions. Provide defaults, minimize the screen alignment points, make common actions simple at the expense of uncommon actions being made harder, provide uniformity and consistency. So that means, see for example here, the graphical user interface is made simple for the user. If you see here, the first one is the Apple smartwatch. It shows a very simple graphical user interface. Okay, it shows 23 minutes to go ago, something like this. Okay, so and also the blood pressure thing is also it's showing. So next thing is the Google has developed a different kind of user interface, and the Pebble timeline. So this is another kind of user interface you have for the smartwatch. So different kinds you have. But the thing is, user has to maintain the simplicity in so that it will be helpful for the user to use. Okay, present a common and necessary functions first. So what is necessary? Maybe the time in the watch is very much necessary, that has to be displayed first. Okay, the necessary function has to be displayed first. Prominent and the important functions, maybe if the user has personalized his system and if he wants to monitor the BP continuously, he it is his prominent feature. Okay, or important function it is. So that may be personalized in the system, so that is also shown on the user interface. So hide more for sophisticated and less frequently used functions. So if the user has personalized the system and he hides certain elements back, that has to be shown at the back end also. Okay, so that things has to be kept in mind. So provide defaults. So maybe for a smartwatch, displaying the time on the screen is a default function. Is it? The rest of the things may be personalized, but displaying the time is very a default function you can see. Okay. And provide here also, when you are showing any contents on the screen, provide uniformity and consistency in every screen. Okay. Next point is transparency. Permit the user to focus on the task or job without concern of the mechanics of the interface. Workings and reminders of the workings inside the computer should be invisible to the user. So, never force the user to think about the technical details of the system. Okay. So here the thing is, whenever the user interface is shown on the screen or displayed, it's on displayed on the screen, it has to focus on the task or job of the user. Okay, maybe here this particular user interface is showing to search a flight. Okay, and here the task is made easy so that he has given an option from where the location, your destination, departure date, return date, adult, economy, like this. Okay, it's all in a very structured manner, you can say. So here user will be allowed to use the system without focusing on what the tech or the without focusing on the technical details of the system. Okay, his intention is to only complete the job here, is it? So that is transparency. Transparency is maintained here to make the user in a very friendly environment. Okay, user friendly environment. So only his task is performed first. Okay, or you can say you can focus on his job here. Rest of the things will be in backend. So here weather forecast it is showing at the back, timetable you have, check-in you have, news you have. So this will be all in the back portion or background screen. The main intention here is it's showing the his job is what? He's searching the flight. Okay, so this is the main task he has to be it has to be performed. Rest of the things will be running in the background. Trade-offs. The final design will be based on the series of trade-offs, balancing often conflicting design principles. The people's requirements always take the precedence over technical requirements. So what do you mean by trade-offs? So trade-offs should be uh, about concerned about the accuracy, you can say accuracy of the particular software or the time, cost and ease of use. So you should balance all these things. So you say here, suppose security, if you are thinking to provide graphical user interface with higher security. Okay. So you say security in the sense you may provide username and password. So if you provide that, it makes the user to take some time they to think of the password, which password he has to. There will be certain inconvenience there for the user. Okay, he may not feel that easy to use. So due to the increase in security, so when you increase the security here, okay, ease of use will be decreased, and you have to balance this security. Your system has to be secured in manner, and also it should be user friendly, ease of use, and functionality, and also at the same time it has to provide the functionality. So all these things has to be balanced. See, if you provide security, cost may go high. Cost, okay, so cost will go high, but you have to balance it. Okay, somehow the designer has to balance this. It may take some time to develop certain user interface in a very easier manner or ease of use. You say here ease of use means for the particularly for the user it has to be user friendly. So ultimately everyone will ask whether it has fulfilled the user's task. The system has or the user interface has fulfilled the user task. So here people's requirements is given the higher precedence. What is the requirement of the people? Whether he wants security, he may not, he may be giving, he may be having money to spend. So then security may be increased. Okay. If cost is, if he spends less cost, or if he's spending less money, the security also may go down. So there is trade-off between both all these things. Okay, the time, cost, security, ease of use, functionality. So it all things has to be balanced in a very good manner in the graphical, while designing a graphical user interface. So already we know what are the uh, general principles of graphical user interface. So graphical user interface may be for any normal system or any web interface you may have, or your smartwatches also, any other kind of devices also. These general principles will be applied for everything. So here you can see a diagram which shows discoverability, affordance, comprehensibility, responsiveness of the system, predictability, efficiency of the system, forgiveness, and explorability. Okay, so I need to do. User starts with certain goal and he thinks I need to do this particular task. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so looks like I click here, and then comprehensibility. Okay, comprehensibility is it, then responsiveness, the response from the system, it gives certain results. Predictability, that means user may be thinking what, just what I expected, so that has been displayed on the screen, so that means he feels that was easy. Okay, so efficiency, you can say that if predictability is there, then efficiency will also go high. Okay, that means the user whatever expected has been given, the result has been given, means you say the system is very efficient. Okay, suppose you do certain mistake while using the system and you press undo button there. Okay, that means your system has forgive your task, is it? So that means it has given forgiveness, and you feel confident after exploring all this. You feel confident, that means your user experience has increased. So all this will be considered. So these points will be considered here for responsiveness, comprehensibility, you say predictability, efficiency, forgiveness. All these things will be considered for designing any graphical user interface.